started today in Toronto. Pope arrived this afternoon. He's going to make his first official appearance on Thursday. Meanwhile, over 200,000 young people from around the world are there for the event, including 500 from Erie. 12 News senior reporter Paul Wagner is there with a preview.
The young people representing the 13-county Erie Diocese let everyone know they had arrived at Exhibition Place. Their top priority, seeing the Pope.
What are you looking forward to the most?
The Pope. JP2, because he's awesome and he's like our father, so it's cool.
That's awesome because I went to Vatican City last year, but now it's like he's in North America, and it's awesome because he's just such an awesome person and like such in God and everything like that.
500 young adults from northwestern Pennsylvania are here in Toronto for World Youth Day. They're sleeping in schools and riding on buses, but nobody seems to mind.
They're very excited to be here, right guys?
Yeah!
No problem with enthusiasm here this week.
Thousands of people are now here for the week-long celebration of their Catholic faith, but the crowd is only about half of the original estimates.
Right now, going into World Youth Day, we're at 200,000 registrations, so we were expecting more.
Worries about the health of the Pope is one factor blamed for the smaller than expected crowds. Plus, concerns about terrorism after the September 11th attacks.
I hope they don't play anything because that wouldn't be right at all, and something like this doesn't deserve it at all.
Despite concerns about the Pope's health and about the possibility of terrorism, a lot of people have traveled very long distances to be here in Toronto. Some from the U.S., some from all over the world.
This group made the trip from Houston, Texas.
It was all right. It was like a long time since I rode in a plane, so I was kind of shaky. And shaky about this, being around a million of people, so it's really fun.
This group had a much longer trip from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
We came not only to see all these people coming together, but most of all, to see Jesus present in the person of the Pope.
The Pope, clearly the star of this event that has brought young people from the Erie Diocese together with young Catholics from all over the world. In Toronto, Paul Wagner, 12 News, with coverage you can count on.
Paul's going to be reporting from Toronto all week. Tomorrow on 12 News at 6, he's going to look at how the kids are spending their time in Toronto. Well, Pope John Paul is scheduled to make his first appearance at the World Youth Day in Toronto tomorrow. Over 200,000 people from around the world, including 500 from Erie, are there, as is our own 12 News Paul Wagner. And while they wait for the Pope, Paul Wagner takes a look at how they're keeping busy.
A huge outdoor mass at Toronto's Exhibition Place. Tens of thousands of young Catholics share their faith. The crowd's so big, scores of priests are needed to pass out communion. And in the crowd, clearly visible under their bright yellow flag, members of Erie's delegation to World Youth Day, sharing their faith with each other and with Catholics they've just met.
This is just fantastic, the feeling of brotherhood and everything else. I mean, when it comes time for the Lord's Prayer, you're holding hands with somebody from another country at times, and it's really, really exciting.
It means a lot because, that they all believe in the same thing you believe in, and it's just really comfortable.
It's not like going to church on Sunday and Warren with a small amount of people. There's all these people from all over the world, all the different languages. It's just been a great experience.
Clearly, religion is the main focus for this World Youth Day in Toronto, but there is a lot more for the young people from Erie and around the world to do, like entertainment. This is a giant open-air concert at Exhibition Place. The star performers, the Celtic music band Leahy. Clearly, the band was a big hit, with music that brought nearly all the exhausted religious pilgrims to their feet. You didn't have to be any expert to enjoy the music. Marissa Priestap of St. Jude's in Mill Creek tried out Irish step dancing for the very first time.
I think that it's great that people dance to praise music, and there's so many different kinds of music here. There's folk bands and there's bands from all over the world. It's great.
Villa Maria student Lyndon Dahlkemper said she wasn't surprised World Youth Day is about more than praying.
I knew that there would be time to hang out and because, we're here for God, but you know what? You can have fun and love God at the same time.
That feeling clearly shared by the 500 young adults from the Erie Diocese and their counterparts from around the world, here to not only learn about their faith, but to celebrate it. In Toronto, Paul Wagner, 12 News, with coverage you can count on.
And we've got a lot more coming up tomorrow on 12 News at 6. Paul's going to look at the job of feeding all those people. And at 11, he's going to get reaction to the Pope's first appearance. Tens of thousands of young people are welcoming Pope John Paul in Toronto today for World Youth Day. Now, live by phone tonight from Toronto is 12 News senior reporter Paul Wagner. Paul, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kevin. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, loud and clear. What was the reaction of the kids when they saw the Pope?
That was amazing. Very emotional for many, Kevin. They said the most emotional time of their life. But the Pope is still speaking right now, Pope John Paul II, despite his frail health. The 82-year-old pontiff arrived by helicopter about 2 hours ago. When he took the stage, many of the 500 participants from the Erie Diocese got a close-up look, and as I said, they were overcome by emotion. Many cried, said it was a highlight of their life. The Erie delegation got a very close look at the Pope-mobile. They were only about 20 yards away, so they got a good look despite the massive crowd, everybody pushing and shoving. Also appearing here briefly to join the Erie group was local Bishop Donald Trauman. He said he believed that seeing the Pope in person would change the lives of all these young pilgrims. Now, the ceremony is just about winding up, Kevin. When it's over, the Pope will be taken back to his retreat north of the city in Lake Simcoe. His next appearance at a vigil Saturday night and a huge mass at the Downsview Lands military base in northern Toronto on Sunday morning. So the Pope is just about to leave here, and some of the crowd is starting to leave, and they said it's the highlight of their lives.
Hey, Paul, did you get a good glimpse of him?
I did. Larry Mancuso, our photographer, and I were about 30 or 40 yards away, and we got the Pope-mobile going by, but people were standing on each other's shoulders, so it was kind of hard, but he waved. I don't know if he was waving at Larry and I, but we did catch the...
We see the pictures. Is he as frail in person as he appears on TV?
He's actually been better, Kevin, here in Toronto than recently. We talked to a reporter from the BBC based in Rome and also a reporter for Time magazine in Rome, and they said this is the best he's looked in a long time. He's actually been much more frail. So maybe all the young people has rejuvenated him, but he still appears to me to be quite feeble.
All right, thank you very much. Paul Wagner reporting. Now, staging World Youth Day in Toronto is a massive job. It involves security, housing, and transportation for over 200,000 young people, including, as Paul said, the 500 from Erie. But, as Paul says, maybe the toughest job is feeding everybody.
Servers singing religious songs tells you this is no ordinary cafeteria. In fact, this is perhaps the busiest spot in Toronto this week. And the key to providing hot meals to the hungry pilgrims, these steam kettles. No ovens here. Instead, the steam boils large packets of flash frozen meals.
And it's the most efficient way. It's a very safe way of handling this type volume food.
And the volume is tremendous. 2 million meals served this week. Today's dish, curry chicken, is one of 11 entrees. Pilgrims will also consume 1.3 million apples and 1 million loaves of pita bread. The goal, getting everybody fed quickly.
We are serving over 10,000 pilgrims in less than a half an hour, and that's just getting started, so that's going to speed up as well. So we're very happy with the timing right now.
These are the people coming to pick up the meals for their friends and others in their churches. Only one person can pick up the food for 5 others. The idea, to build community and, more importantly, to make for shorter lines.
As long as you've got your 6 tickets, your groups of 6 stick together, you fly through it. It takes like 5 minutes to get right through.
I think it's working very well so far. It's pretty efficient. They have a lot of people to feed, and I think this is the best way they can do it.
So the system seems to get the food to the hungry pilgrims pretty fast, but the real question is, how does it taste? After all, it's clearly not gourmet fare.
Food is good. We're getting plenty to eat. The young folks, the kids are happy with that.
But after long days, many of the young people admit they're really not too fussy.
I think everybody's looking forward to whatever it is because we're very hungry. Going through Mass and listening to all the talks by the Pope and by all the holy people, it really makes everyone hungry. So I think we're pretty much willing to eat whatever we're given.
Organizers say the meals may not look pretty, but they contain the nutrition the young people need to keep up the hectic pace of activities at World Youth Day. In Toronto, Paul Wagner, 12 News, with coverage you can count on.
And coming up at 11, Paul's going to look at how Erie's delegation reacted to seeing the Pope.
500 young people from the Erie Catholic Diocese got the thrill of a lifetime. They saw the Pope in person. 12 News senior reporter Paul Wagner is in Toronto and has the story.
The Erie young people joined together in song, waiting for the Pope's arrival. The first glimpse of his helicopter caused the crowd to strain for a better view. Minutes later, they spotted the Pope-mobile. And inside the glass bubble, the frail 82-year-old leader of the Catholic Church. Aaron Dixon was overcome by emotion.
Totally incredible. I couldn't believe it that I actually saw the Pope. I couldn't believe it. Words cannot explain. It's awesome.
Bethany L. also fought back tears.
It's the most amazing thing I have ever experienced, to be like 5 feet away from the Pope, the most holy man that lives today. Oh, it's so amazing.
With so many people straining to see the Pope's arrival, it's amazing so many people from the Erie Diocese got so close.
I was within 10 feet. I saw the whole side view of him, and he was standing there waving, and it was just a glorious time.
The 500 young people from the 13-county Erie Diocese have been here in Toronto since Monday, but clearly the appearance of Pope John Paul II tonight was the highlight of the trip. But actually seeing the Pope once he got on the massive stage wasn't easy. I tried binoculars, they helped a bit, but the distance didn't seem to bother the faithful.
We can make out the outline and a bunch of flags.
That's thrilling enough?
Yes, just being here is thrilling enough.
You can actually kind of feel his presence here because he's actually here rather than seeing him on television.
And the Erie delegation watched the Pope surrounded by people from all over the world. 170 countries represented in the crowd of 400,000.
It's pretty cool because I've never met anybody from a foreign country before, so it's kind of like different.
Seeing so many Erie Catholics in another city was also a different experience for Bishop Donald Troutman. He thinks the presence of the Pope will be an inspiration.
I hope a better appreciation of their faith and a better love of the Lord, because they will meet the Lord in so many new persons and places here.
Clearly at Exhibition Place, the crowd believed the Lord was close in the presence of the leader of the Catholic Church. In Toronto, Paul Wagner, 12 News, with coverage you can count on.
Paul will continue his reporting from World Youth Day in Toronto tomorrow, and you can see those reports on 12 News at 6 and 11.